Your old buddy Eddie, he's back to tell you terrible jokes. Here we go, number 7. There was a police officer patrolling at night in an area that was pretty well known for couples parking. So he saw a couple in the car with the interior light on, got a little closer to the car, and saw a young man behind the wheel reading a computer magazine. The young lady, she was in the back seat and she was knitting. Oh, puzzled by this, the cop walks over to the car, knocks on the window. Yes, officer? Well, what are you doing? Well, isn't it obvious? I'm just sitting here reading a magazine, man. Oh, pointing to the young woman in the back seat, he says, and her, what's she doing? The young guy says, I don't know. I think she's knitting a sweater. The cop was a little confused, a young couple alone at night and nothing obscene going on. All right, how old are you? Well, I'm 22, sir. And her? How old is she? Young guy looks at his watch and says, well, sir, she'll be 18 in 20 minutes. Number 6. There were 3 couples who went to see a minister to find out how they could become members of the church. The first couple was retired. Second couple, they were middle-aged. And the third couple had just gotten married. The minister said they'd have to abstain from going at it for 2 full weeks. Then they'd have to come back and tell them how it went. Well, 2 weeks went by and the couples returned to the minister. The retired couple said, it was no problem at all. Middle-aged couple said it was tough the first week, but after that, no problem. The newlyweds said it was fine until the wife dropped a can of paint. A can of paint, said the minister. Yeah, said the newlywed. She dropped that can, and when she bent over to pick it up, lust just took over. I had to have her right there, so, I went for it. Well, the minister stuck out his hand so the man could say no more and told him he was sorry, but they were not welcome in the church. That's okay, says the guy. We're not allowed at the hardware store anymore either. Number 5. So last week I had a birthday. My wife, she didn't wish me a happy birthday. My parents forgot, and so did my kids. So I went to work, and even my colleagues at work didn't wish me a happy birthday. So I walked into my office, and my secretary said, well, happy birthday, boss. Well, I felt special. She asked me out for lunch, and after lunch she invited me to her apartment. I figured this birthday is going to be all right. So we go there, and she says, you, mind if I go into the bedroom for about a minute? All right, I said. So she came out 5 minutes later with a birthday cake. And my wife, my parents, my kids, my friends, and all my colleagues yelling surprise. There I was waiting on the couch, naked. Number 4. There was a guy named Bill, and he worked in a pickle factory. He'd been working there for quite a few years and came home one day to tell his wife that he had a terrible compulsion. He had the urge to stick his manhood in the pickle slicer. His wife said that he should probably go see a therapist to talk about it, but Bill said that he'd be too embarrassed, and he vowed to overcome the compulsion on his own. One day, a couple of weeks later, Bill came home, and he was absolutely shaken. His wife could see at once something was wrong. Oh, Bill, what's wrong? Well, do you remember when I told you I had that tremendous urge to, put my thing in the pickle slicer? Oh, Bill, you didn't. Yeah, I did. Oh my God, Bill, what happened? Well, I got fired. No, Bill, I mean, what happened with the pickle slicer? Oh yeah, she got fired too. Number 3. One day, a guy wakes up and heads to the bathroom and looks down to find a red ring around his manhood. Well, he can't figure it out, so he goes to the doc, and the doc hands him a tube of cream. Here, put this on, and the ring will be gone within an hour. So the guy goes home and puts it on, and sure enough, the ring was gone within an hour. Then the next day he wakes up and the ring's there again. So he goes to the doc, and Doc once again hands him the same cream. Well, he puts it on and the ring vanishes, only to reappear the next morning. Well, this goes on for a couple of days before the man finally asks, "Hey Doc, that cream you're giving me, it takes care of the ring, but it comes back every morning. What in the heck are you giving me anyways?" Doc hands him another tube of cream and says, "Buddy, it's lipstick remover." Number 2. Little Johnny comes home with a homework paper to do, so he asks his dad to help him write about the difference between theory and reality. His dad says, "All right, go to your mom and ask her if she'd sleep with another guy for $1,000,000. So little Johnny does as he's told, and Mom says, "Well, yeah, I suppose I would." His dad then says, "All right, now go to your big sister and ask her if she'd sleep with another man for $1,000,000. Little Johnny does this too, and sister says, "Yeah, I definitely would." Little Johnny's dad sit down, and dad says, "Now, son, you learn the difference between theory and reality. Now, in theory, we're sitting on $2,000,000. In reality, you're just living with a couple of whores." Number 1. A guy gets caught cheating on a woman, and they're having a heated discussion while driving to her mother's house. Well, the woman gets so mad that she reaches over and, with all her might, rips his Johnson right off and throws it out the window of the car. Well, it flies through the air and lands on the windshield of the car behind him. It slid off to the side of the windshield, leaving a smear all the way to the edge. The car is driven by a dad with his daughter in the passenger seat. The dad, not wanting to expose his young daughter to the horrors of reality, looks over at her with wide eyes and says, "Wow, did you see the size of that bug?" Well, the daughter looks over at her dad with wide eyes and says, "That was a bug?" "It sure was," says the dad. And then young daughter thinks about it for a little while and says, "Well, did you see the size of the hog on that thing?" Well, folks, did you giggle? Which one was your favorite? Did I get the order wrong? Let me know in the comments down below, or just say hi. It's been a while. Thanks, and we'll catch you next time.